Hey sweetheart, welcome in. Okay, so I promised you a fairy village, mushroom houses, whatever I said last time I was filming. And after, I think, 4 separate tries, I finally finished that for you. So let's get straight into it. This video sped up like 14 times. It is so fast. But I would like to personally say whoever in the Sims team, whichever tech guy, whatever Sims guru, whatever they're called, I can't think of the word right now, decided to make round walls. I love you for your concept, but you might be evil. Why do they work like that? Why do they work like that? Now, all of these houses are a little empty just because the round walls make it like impossible to properly break things up. And I had to leave walking room around, so it's like, are they perfect? No, but it's as good as I can get. I didn't use the saucer light in any of these houses. Please congratulate me for behaving. That being said, we're on the Earth house right now. All of these mushrooms were inspired by a point on the pentacle. So I started with the bottom left, which is Earth, which is green if you're using candles for all 5 points instead of different parts of the elements. But this one kind of ended up more brown. It just felt more earthy. I have that really cute gallery wall with different like earthy pictures on it. And the seasons furniture with the flowers. I tried to include a lot of gardening stuff, so I have a lot of clutter from the greenhouse, clutter from seasons. I have the scouting trophy on the dresser. I just kind of thought that one was cute. Maybe like this fairy is in their own version of scouts. I don't know. But I have like a very earth toned. I use some orange, a lot of green, a lot of brown. Did my best to make it very cozy, very cluttered with plants. I would love to do a whole house based off of this style. That might actually be what I do later this month. Just like a very earthy, like eclectic sort of thing. I use the outdoor retreat furniture in here, like the bathroom stuff. That's the get together tub, but the shower and the sink are both outdoor retreat. I never used those, but they felt really, I don't know, they felt really correct to be here. Now, this one is my favorite, and you can tell because it's the one I started with on this like 4th remake. I did this so many times because I kept starting with houses I didn't like. Now, this kitchen is going to be hit or miss for a lot of people. I believe it was Maeve Plays. I don't know for sure, but Maeve Plays sounds right. Do a kitchen where she did earth tones, but she used different counters in each. Like every counter was a different one. So like she had she had like cottage living as one, and then base game, and so I tried that. So that kitchen is inspired by her, but I felt like something about the like eclecticness was very cozy. I thought it was gorgeous when she did it. Okay, we're moving on to air. And something I tried to do is I tried to have an activity connected to each one of their elements. So, you know, I have the earth, like all the gardening stuff in the earth building. I use the bubble blower. And I don't really think the bubble blower was like the perfect choice. But I saw, like, you know how everyone calls vapes like flavored air? It's not, oh, it's just your flavored air. Where's your flavored air stick? So I used the bubble blower because it's the closest I could get. And I didn't really know what else to use here. If I had eco lifestyle, I guess the wind turbine would have worked. Is that a turbine? We're going to call it that. But I don't have that. I think I am going to break down and buy it if I remember about the sale when I get back from my trip this week. Because when you're seeing this, I'm getting ready to go see the opening show of the I Can't Hear You tour with Piercevale. I'm giddy. I'm absolutely giddy. I have I've never seen them live, but I've been listening to them since middle school, and the same is true for Sleeping with Sirens, which was my favorite band all of middle and high school. They have been replaced by Meet Me at the Altar, but they were my favorite for a very long time, and I'm absolutely giddy to see them live for the first time. I'm completely blind to the set list. I think Pierce the Veil did post it. I've seen Daisy Grenade's like little reveals, but I haven't seen all of it. I'm trying to ignore their stories because I want to be surprised by all three bands, because I like all three and I'm really excited, and I'm about to spend way too much money on merch, but come on, you have to Pierce the Veil and Sleeping with Sirens on tour together in this year of our Lord 2025. Insane. But yeah, we're almost done with the air house now. Let's get back into that for a minute. I hate the kitchen. I hate it. I don't know. I hate all white kitchens. I think it's like weirdly modern, but also weirdly old. I don't know. Air was probably one of my least favorites, but we're moving on to Spirit now, which is purple and then like black as one of the main other colors, because why doesn't this game have any good purple? The purple is awful in this. I'm very sad about it. I want more of those good like plums and violets, and I want more lilacs and lavenders. I could never look at the color magenta again and I'd be fine. Also, the little roof thing I'm doing there, the spots are the yarn ball from Nifty Knitting. It was the only thing I knew off the top of my head worked, so that's what they got. I also attempted to do different floor plans on all of these, but it's really hard. Like, I don't want to sound whiny, but it is so hard to actually genuinely get different floor plans, because you can't intersect at whatever wall you want with the round walls. You kind of have to keep them to their corners, and that sucks. I don't want to keep to the corners, but you have to. I attempted to use that ghost wallpaper, decided not to use it in here, but if I remember right, I think it's the backsplash in the kitchen, which is so ridiculous, but I kind of liked it. I used a lot of moon stuff. I used the Himalayan salt lamp, and I used the little like lunar bedspread from high school years, because it had purple pillows, and so we also use paranormal a lot in here. I have the seance table because, again, it's spirit. And I don't remember for sure where I put it, but I know the tarot deck is also in here. I tried to include something for the wellness skill in every house. I think I did forget in one of them. I'm not positive, but I might have forgotten to put something air related in the... Or not air related, something meditation related in the air house. We're using vampire counters in here. I don't know why I made that choice, but that is a choice I made, and I guess I'm sticking with it because it is done. I can't undo it. It's on the gallery. This isn't a perfect build by any means, but with how discouraged I was getting with it, I don't mind. Yeah, I did use the ghost as a backsplash, which would be awful. It's wallpaper. A wallpaper backsplash would suck. That would be atrocious, but it's what I did. I don't know. A lot of vampires in this house, I am realizing. It has a good purple, and a lot of the packs don't. But I tried to keep it kind of dark tones, and then like purples. I put a chess table in here. I don't know. I felt Spirit kind of feels like a reflection element, and so I used a lot of logic. Like, I tried to have a logic skill in there because I feel like the logic skill is the closest we have in the game to something like self-reflection other than meditation. We're working on water now. I think I lied about earth. I think water is my least favorite just because we don't really have a lot of water stuff in the game. It's just kind of very blue, and this is the point where the foundations wanted to be weird, and so the outside of this house is really glitched. I don't know. But we are almost done with the build. We have this one, and we have fire, and then we just work on landscaping. So what else do I have going on? Do I have anything fun to tell you about other than my concert? I don't know. I'm going to Chili's tomorrow. That's a really exciting thing for me. Like, I can't wait. I love Chili's. But yeah, I'm really trying to bust this one out because I have to pack today. I have a Mother's Day thing with my family today, so I have to take all this off because it does not match the vibes. Also, lighting sucks today. I'm sorry. It's raining, and I use sunlight, and so it didn't even out, but I don't have time to redo this, so you get what you get. I love that bed. I think the bathroom in this one was my favorite. I think it's the most different of all of the houses that I did. I feel like a lot of the bathrooms were just kind of repeats of each other, and this one I tried to do something a little different with like the counters and the shower cup combo, and I used the puddle mirror from Pastel Pop. I use that painting from Kid Stuff, and I think that's the only thing from there. This build was 43 packs. I don't know how I did that. It's also, in my game, it's a rental residential. No. Vacation residential. Because I built it in Granite Falls, where the national park is, at 55 by 50 Granite Falls Forest lot. Do I love that I did that? No, but I felt like it was the most like fun wilderness. I can put a fairy circle here and it would make sense. Place we had on the map. Quite frankly, the plants in Willow Creek worked better. Like, I wanted to use those hanging, like the cherry tree weeping willows and stuff. I still use them. I don't really care that much about matching the world, but I felt like kind of matching was important. I used the get together fish. I think it's not get together, it's growing together. The fish light. Maybe it's for rent. I don't know. It's one of the newer expansions. But I thought it was funny. But this kitchen is very dark. I kind of wish I had included a little more light. But you know, you live and you learn. You redo things later. I use the little tiled backsplash, which this one fits together a lot better than the new one. I don't know if I want the kitchen clutter pack. I know there's a lot of like really good quick meal stuff, but I don't know. I do want the restoration kit though. I think that one's really cute. I like the retro furniture you can redo. So we're moving on to the final house, which is fire. I didn't do them in the order you light them, because if you did, I'd have to start with spirit, and I didn't want to do that. And they're also technically not in the order you draw them. That would have started with with air. But they are in order around the lot. So that's what matters. This isn't a real altar or pentacle by any means. It didn't have to be perfect. But we are on that last house. I tried to use a lot of warm colors, but technically red is the color of the candle. I don't know how I feel about this one. I have 2 bathrooms in here. I don't know why. I just kind of felt like one of the houses should have an extra. I wanted to use space. I was getting really tired of repeating things. There was a lot of just space open. So I said, you know what? 2 bathrooms makes sense, but like, I'm not positive it did. So one of them has a shower and a tub, and the other just has a tub. I use that paranormal wallpaper in here. I never use that, but I think it's so beautiful. So I don't know why I don't use it, but I have a lot of candles in this one. I think I have 2 fireplaces, but I could be wrong. I am wrong. I just have one upstairs, but I have a little like reading nook area. I have the dresser sort of off to the side. I use the outdoor retreat mirror twice. I used it in the earth one and in this one. I have a little record player in here. I also put the computer in here. I just kind of felt like the lot needed one, and also I don't really have any good activities for fire. I mean, I guess I could have put a fire pit outside, but like that's not an activity. Your sim doesn't gain a skill with it, and I feel like they have to either gain a skill or they have to have like a, I don't know, they have to get something from it, and they don't with the fire pit. But I put a computer because it's nice to have one on the lot. This lot is very expensive. It came out to 155K. Technically over 155K, but I don't mind it. I think when you're gonna have 5 houses on a lot like this, it's gonna get expensive. I really don't like that I use those counters. We don't have good red counters. So I use the cottage living ones, which I don't love, but they work. I don't know. We need better non-modern red cabinets, but also how often are you using them? Like, be so for real with me. How often are your cabinets red in your house? They're not. They're not. No one's using red in their kitchen in The Sims. We all use the same, like, 5 counters over and over and over again. Don't lie to me, because I know you do. I used a lot of those tarot posters, too, and I think I have the crystal station in one of the houses, but I might be wrong. That might be in one of the... Again, I redid this like 5 times, because at first I only had 2, and then I ended up with 6, and then I was like, no, I should do it around the pentacle to, like, give me something to work off of, because I was trying to do it off of Pixie Hollow, and, like, I just kept running into trouble. But we finished the houses, and we're moving on to landscaping. I used the debug cottage living mushrooms to turn our 5 little houses into a fairy circle. So our big houses make the corners of the star and the pentacle, and then the rest of the mushroom circle just kind of fills it out. I used a lot of romantic garden in this pond, which I know a lot of people don't like romantic garden, but I think it's so perfect for a fantasy type build that I love it. I think it was really fun. I used a lot of red. Kind of just to tie the roofs back in, and then I used paint because I was going to use those weeping willow, like, cherry blossom trees, which I have one really sized up, which makes it obnoxious to play in. I'm sorry if you do play here, but I hate round walls, so I'm not playing here. I'm not. The painting on them is atrocious. The trying to move them is atrocious. Hate round walls. But we are about to be done, so I hope you have a great one, baby. Thanks for gaming with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.
My opinion was a horror movie.